Menopause at work didn't become more visible in 2025. It became more expensive, especially for C-suite women. And here's what effects it will have on women's leadership careers in 2026. If you're a C-suite woman navigating menopause at work, menopause doesn't arrive as chaos for senior women leaders. It arrives as doubt. It isn't about symptoms. This is about your leadership clarity starting to slip. And when clarity slips, confidence follows. Not the visible confidence people see. It's the internal confidence you rely on to make your decisions hold your ground, and get people to move fast when it matters most. So how does it show up in your leadership life? Well, you start compensating, over-preparing, softening your language, double-checking your instincts that used to be so solid. And that's what we exposed in 2025 at the Menopause Maze. Now, I'm Fiona McKay. I'm also known as the Menopause Career Coach. I'm the founder of the Menopause Maze, and I'm the creator of the NOPAUSE method. And if we haven't met before, you may have seen me on your TV screens. I work exclusively with C-suite women leaders, C-suite female founders, and aspiring C-suite women and the companies that they work in. These are top-tier women leaders who operate in the world's biggest and boldest boardrooms, brands and businesses, where maintaining peak performance, judgment, impact, influence, and your credibility are absolutely non-negotiable. And I can tell you this with certainty. Currently, only women with easy menopauses make it straight to the C-suite. Everyone else is expected quietly to manage in silence. And this year, I started to see something really shift behind closed boardroom doors. Senior women leaders started opening up to me and saying things that they would never say publicly, such as, my decisions are just taking longer, Fiona. I'm hesitating where I never used to, and I just don't recognise myself in the boardroom. I've done the work on my personal health. A lot of them have said to me, working on the hormones, but they now said, look, I need to do the work on preserving my leadership life, maintaining peak optimization for my performance in the boardroom. And these weren't underperforming women. They were still delivering, still respected, still fine on paper, but fine is not where careers are made at the C-suite. Menopause doesn't derail careers loudly. It erodes them quietly through slower decision making, softened authority, and increased risk aversion. Second guessing precisely at the wrong time. And in 2025, we equipped those women leaders so they stopped pretending this was just menopause mindset. At senior leadership levels, performance gaps don't need to be dramatic to be damaging. They only need to be noticeable. A pause before a decision, a softened position in the boardroom, a moment of hesitation where certainty used to live for you. And that's where assumptions get made. And here's the brutal truth. Women aren't judged on potential at this level. They're judged on consistency of their edge. So when menopause interferes, even subtly, the cost isn't comfort. The cost to you is stalled career progression, career opportunities, quiet exclusion from roles, being seen as steady instead of ready. And this is where the menopause industry gets it so wrong. By offering awareness, empathy, policies that look good but change nothing. But elite women leaders don't need to be supported. They need to be strategically equipped. Now, support makes you feel better, doesn't it? But being equipped preserves your leadership position and your leadership life. And that's why coping strategies and awareness fail women at the top. Coping accepts erosion to a degree as normal. Support makes you feel better. Being equipped preserves your leadership life, as I said. Now, I built the NOPAUSE Advantage Data Diagnostic Scorecard because guessing is not a strategy. What is the NOPAUSE Scorecard? Well, it's the world's only personalised diagnostic that shows the impacts of menopause, both visible and invisible, on 6 key critical areas of your leadership life. It scores each of those categories and then gives you a personalised overall score to show whether you're plateauing in your leadership career, cracks are appearing, or you're at a real career tipping point. And you receive personalised recommendation and a report on how to act fast and regain and retain peak performance, progression, and those key critical promotions. Now, we have 3 scorecards, one for current executives, one for aspiring C-suite women, and one for C-suite women founders turning over 5 million plus. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, it's absolutely sector agnostic, but these products consistently deliver personalised data and direction because elite women don't guess, they measure, they diagnose, they intervene early. Now, it's not a wellness quiz. It's a detailed diagnostic that the world's top women leaders use. It's been described as the professional prescription, detailed blood work for your leadership career. It shows where menopause is interfering with your performance, what it's costing you, and what to do next about it professionally and strategically. Now, the women who took it this year didn't want to learn about menopause symptoms. They took the diagnostic because they wanted to discover what and where they needed expert support so they could start to lead and live without limits, so they could get their career edge back and keep growing their careers and the companies that they lead. And that's exactly what happened. Here's what changed for the women who took and acted upon the diagnostics that came out of the NOPAUSE scorecard. They didn't just feel better, they made faster, cleaner decisions, they stopped self-editing, they reclaimed their authority in the room and trusted their judgment again. They moved forward, really, instead of quietly stalling. They regained pace, performance, progression, and they got those critical key promotions. But most importantly, they stopped wondering whether it was just them. It wasn't, because data removes doubt, and doubt is expensive at the top. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If menopause is interfering with your leadership, even slightly, can you afford to wait until it becomes visible to others? Or do you want to get ahead of it privately, strategically, decisively? Because waiting doesn't make the impact of menopause in your leadership disappear. It just makes it noticeable. And noticeable is where careers quietly change direction. Now, if this resonates with you, your next step is simple. Take the NOPAUSE diagnostic. It's really simple to do. You get clarity, you get data, you get determination in the right direction, and you decide what's right for you from a position of strength, not uncertainty. It takes no more than 3 minutes, and your leadership career is not the place for guesswork through menopause.